Okay, calling to order the special meeting. This is a special meeting? I thought it was a budget meeting.
It's a special meeting.
All right, special meeting of the Township of Lopatcong of June 27, 2016. All right, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided, indicating the time and place of the meeting held in accordance with Chapter 231 of Public Laws of 1975, by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times, and by posting a copy on the bulletin board of the municipal building. A moment of prayer and silence. Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I guess we have to go into executive session.
You gotta follow your agenda.
No, I don't. What do you mean? What?
Council vacancy.
I make a motion that we appoint Warren Meyer to fill the council vacancy. Second.
Why are we doing that now when it's,
So she can go in the closed session with us.
but nobody's here?
That's okay.
This is not
It's
a
an
public
open
meeting.
session there.
It's open session.
People
Meeting
are
was
here.
advertised. People are here. What do you mean? Are you calling them nobody?
No, just we never do it this way, but I know it's one of your little things, so.
No. It's not a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, it is.
It's
Um,
procedure.
Whatever.
That was you when you took the mayor's.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You were sworn in the morning before the meeting even started.
Yes.
By your,
It's not unusual.
Mhm.
maybe
We
she
have
works.
a motion on the floor, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
There's a second already.
Yes.
I'll roll call that.
Roll call.
Councilman Valcarro. Councilwoman McKay.
Yes.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna swear Yvonne in.
Don't swear.
I'm swearing.
Okay.
You're gonna raise your right hand. Okay, so I'll come on this side. I do. All right, you're gonna say I in your name. I, Yvonne Whitmire. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And to the governments established in the United States. And to the governments established in the United States. And in this state. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. Under the authority of the people. And that I will faithfully. And that I will faithfully. Impartially. And justly perform. All the duties of the office of council. All the duties of the office of council. According to the best of my ability. According to the best of my ability. So help me God. Well, welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can take your seat there now. You still up there now?
Just one point of order here. This says there were 3 Republican nominees, but I don't know about the other 2. Who are the other 2? I was in.
I don't even know if we have to send it.
Wasn't it printed in the newspaper? It was printed in the newspaper. That's what I thought.
What?
I learned it.
I don't.
Printed in the newspaper. Don Schneider put it out in the.
Don Schneider.
In that article, I would assume they gave you the names when they called you. And weren't you on the Republican County Committee when they picked the 3 names?
I'm trying to remember.
At the meeting?
My mind is going back to the one time I was at a meeting here where this happened, and there were 3 people, and then they were each questioned and spoke. And
Council, could you do that if you wish?
I did. I know, they didn't want to do any of that. Okay. Resolution to hold an executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Mm-hmm.
Second.
Well, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, anyone who's not supposed to be here should leave. Thank you.
Call you back soon.
Well, please. Please, I want to do the office. No problem. Just put it back with you. Walk out.
Yes, no, we're not big on fans. Okay, we did this a little differently this week, so bear with me. I guess we're going to come out of executive session, so I'll take a motion to do that. Take a second.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, now we need to go into,
You want me to give a rundown of executive session?
do you want to do that after we go into open session or before?
You just came out of executive session.
Oh, yeah, but because we went into open early this time.
We always go into open,
But we,
make a motion to go into close and come back out. So in this case, you just stayed in open a little longer before you went into closed session and came back out.
so we're back out now.
So you're back out.
Okay, before you do that, we should have roll call.
Sure.
We didn't have roll call. Procedurally, that should have happened earlier. Roll call, please, Beth.
Councilman Del Caro.
Here.
Councilwoman McCabe. Here. Council President Pryor. Councilwoman Rittmeyer. Here. Mayor McKay.
Here. Okay, your assessment?
Council was in executive session for approximately 35 minutes. The subject of discussion was, as it appears on your agenda, number 1, contractual Phillipsburg School District security coverage. Number 2, contract active New Jersey grant. Number 3, personnel grievances. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists.
Thank you, Katrina. Okay, we'll open public comment, or I'll take a motion to open public comment, agenda items only.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're open for public comment, agenda items only. Are there any public comments? Okay, seeing none and hearing none, I take a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, now we'll go into the business of the day. Resolution to approve deferred local district school tax to be increased to $6,693,426 as of December 15th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Del Caro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rittmeyer.
If you're comfortable, yeah.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Yes.
And then real quick, the reason we're changing the number.
It's, I think.
Okay. What happens is at the end of the year, you're left with a fund balance. And in order to utilize more fund balance within your budget, you need to increase this amount by the $150,000. Without doing that $150,000, you would not be in compliance with the levy cap. So now that leads us into the budget where you are compliant with the levy cap.
Okay, so this is really a $150,000 increase from what we've been paying.
What it basically is deferred school taxes is one of those things that happens once a year. You get one shot to do it, and what you wind up doing is taking an accounts payable and deferring it to the next year. So when you pull an account payable off your balance sheet, it increases your fund balance. That's what it does, and then you're able to use more of that fund balance in your next year's budget. Sure.
Okay. All right, next item is the 2016 budget. I have a copy that I got several weeks ago. Has it changed since then?
By $8,000.
Yes, we were here almost a month ago at this point for our first budget session, and we had the cuts in that budget We did tweak revenue slightly because there is a lot of construction going on, and we found that we were well over our construction numbers already as a revenue number. Where your budget stands tonight, you are below both caps, both the expenditure cap and the tax levy cap. You are about $175,000 below the expenditure cap and $132,000 below the levy cap. And what that means effectively is those two numbers that I just gave you will go into future years' cap banking should you need them. Your budget can't be introduced unless you're below those two caps. What this means is a 3-cent increase in your local tax rate this year. A local 1 tax point to increase or decrease the budget by 1 cent, you would effectively have to cut or add $86,000. So your budget went up, your tax rate went up to 3 cents. An average local home in town is assessed at $231,000. What that means to the average local taxpayer is an increase of $75 for the year, or about $6.28 a month. The main reason for the increase this year is you backed off on pulling in revenue from the sewer utility. That was something that a couple of you wished to do. We are using $215,000 less this year in this year's budget. There were also some one-time revenues that you brought in last year that are no longer available. So it's more of a revenue problem than it is a spending problem. And you are going up, and the increases really are offsetting that money that you're bringing in.
The increased budget, the budget is about 2.5%.
I could tell you. Inside the cap, you're roughly going up about $220,000 for just inside the cap items only. That's on a it was 5.5 million last year. This year it's 5.7 million.
Well, I'm looking at, 215 was about 7.2 million, 7.20.
Okay, so that's the total budget.
Yeah, this year was 7,384, and that's about 2.9%.
Correct. What we look at,
Order of magnitude.
exactly, we look at the areas of the inside cap because that's the cap that's your day-to-day, function as a governmental unit.
And last year's increase was about 2 cents. This year it's 3 cents. We could go back to 2 cents if we want to take from the sewer budget again.
You could.
But I don't know. I believe that we have to wean ourselves off of that. So this is the first step.
Agreed. But I believe we added, or we switched certain expenditures into the sewer for salaries. We're going to allocate certain salaries, appropriately so in some cases.
It's an allocation.
Yeah,
Correct.
so we're still, that's the way you're supposed to do it. That should be taken out of the sewer thing.
You're capturing more costs in sewer, correct?
Yes, we are doing that. So,
As we lean off the sewer, and I agree with that, so what it does is it isn't fair to the homeowners who pay for the sewer and the homeowners who have septic. So what this number of years has been subsidizing by using the money sewer. But on the flip side of that, it also didn't increase the taxes as much.
That was the point of it, correct. It kept your taxes low,
Right.
and now you're seeing the shift because you're using less funding from one area and more funding from another.
So I'm hoping here, as we eventually get off, that because the benefit to the homeowner was that the increase in taxes wasn't as much.
Correct.
I'm hoping to see that the sewer paying homeowners, that we will see some kind of reduction in the sewer bill. That's my hope.
that would be nice. But I think we were also picking up debt service costs that we didn't have before. That's increased a lot because of the $3 million loan. So we're going to need more money of the sewer money to pay for sewer-related expenses.
Correct.
I get all that. But,
You're right. It should be what it costs. That's what it should be.
Take it from data to pay costs.
But not anymore.
Right.
Right. we're weaning down with that. We're going to make the sewer utility stand on its own.
Hopefully over time, that I do, people complain about this.
Right.
Biggest
Big issue in this town.
biggest complaint you get when you go around.
You have one bond that's out there, a bond ordinance, and sewer is self-liquidating. So sewer maintains the sewer debt. You don't have to pay for the sewer debt anywhere else but through the funds that you raise for sewer. But you do have a $2.9 million bond anticipation note out there that perhaps in future years you'll be able to start addressing as you take less and less of the surplus from sewer and leaving it in sewer. You can start, taking that down. And if that's the goal, we can help you get there.
Even though
That's supposed to roll into a federal loan.
Until it does, you still
That
have
should
to
be this
start
year,
addressing
oh.
principal on it, right? You're past the 3 years where you do not have to pay
If
principal.
I'm not mistaken, that temporary financing's been out there a while.
It's been 4 years now. You're in the
Yeah,
fourth year.
So we're not really increasing debt service.
No.
It's been there.
It's been there.
So we are truly reducing expenditures in the sewer utility. We're going to be on a shortened year because we're late. The idea is to accumulate some surplus in the sewer utility and then look at ratcheting down that rate. So it won't happen this year, perhaps next year.
Even with the reduction taken from sewer, 212,000, you say?
215.
215. Okay. I mean, even with this increase here of the 3 cents, even without that, it's still very, very modest.
I'm sorry. I have pulled the wrong number here. It was 150,000 that you are less from last year.
Okay.
That was
But
my
I think
mistake.
you may have been looking at the money from the year before.
I took the
That's
wrong
also
one.
reduced.
Correct. Yes. It is going the right way.
Right. I think that sewer money that was drawn down all at once, that line, but it was probably earning interest. It was sitting in a bank account, right?
Well, it's either sitting.
It wasn't being used.
It's
Now
either
it's been
sitting
used
in-
to pay
yes,
the
yes.
cost of redoing the sewers.
Right.
So the net differences would be more expensive.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the money that was transferred last year, we didn't spend all of that. So what was unspent carried over.
There's two pieces that were
fund,
coming into the
correct?
general fund. There was 125,000 of prior year surplus, and then 250 of current year, 250,000 of
This year,
current year surplus,
375
right?
was available.
And now you're taking 75 of prior year surplus and 150 of current year surplus.
So it's 225.
So it was 225 in total.
So we have
150 less.
less available this year.
Correct. Correct.
And my other question, just real quick, was
Sure.
that the salaries are not listed correctly on here, but I know, was there some reasoning that we were, putting in higher numbers? I mean, again, it's July 1st, so I don't know that we will be doing increases in salaries, but I just wanted to confirm that, the reason for doing that we're not, is it a just in case? So that's there.
Being the issues of last year and not knowing where we were this year and certain different departments and the assistant we needed, I thought it was best to just make sure if there was assistance needed that it was covered under the salary and wages in different departments that were assisting the finance department at the time and, which also might need help. So it's just
Sort of in case.
just in case so we don't go over budget.
Janice, the employees who were helping out in the year, their stuff would come out of that line item.
Right.
So those 2 employees that you were helping,
Will come out of
that
the
money
line.
would have just attributed to that line item.
Okay, so that would be the reason why those numbers are, I don't want people to look at this and go, oh my gosh, they're making all this money, and that's not the fact. It's not their current salary.
No, if you took, we have a breakdown of each salary of each person, and we have that backup that is behind the budget document. Everybody else just sees the flat numbers. They don't understand what
That's,
they,
right, that's
when
what I
you-
wanted to
So-
clarify.
So no one's gotten any increase.
No,
Right, in any way, in any form.
No, we would have to prove
Right.
that.
Yeah. Well-
We'd have to prove that, but I just want to say why that's in there. Not because they're getting an
No,
increase.
not at all.
Because they got an increase.
Council and mayor vote on increases.
Right, so
It's
we'd have to do a
just-
salary ordinance.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, that's the understanding I have. That's okay.
So I just want to make it clear, one more thing, and then we move on, is that if we didn't take the reduction in $50,000 from the sewer, right? So a tax increase this year would have been possibly just over a penny.
Correct.
Okay, I just want to make that clear.
Mm.
So in the difference in the 2 cents, is because we're weeding off the sewer. So people ask.
Yeah, I would like to make a statement. We're just introducing tonight, we have a hearing coming up. But, the mayor did not produce or submit a budget this year. Budget was put together largely by the CO, CFO, with input from staff and assistance from our auditor, and some review and input from various members of council. Councilwoman Schneider, before she left, made a statement and somehow inferred that I shut her out of the process. I'm not going to get into that. What I have is I gave the clerk a list of emails. There are 15 emails. They're all the emails between myself and Councilman Schneider. You're welcome to open them. They are all operable. Read them from beginning to end, and you'll see. You can make your own decision as to who did what on the budget and who prevented whom, and if it happened at all. So I have nothing to hide. Open those emails and make your own decision.
Just one more thing, if the budget is introduced tonight, public comment on the budget and the public hearing on the budget would be August 3rd's meeting. At that point, public comment is welcome on the budget.
Just since that Mr. Pryor found it necessary to make his statement, I will say that his statement is, in my view, incorrect, that I attempted to do the budget in the same fashion it was done last year, which was my only year of doing a budget. And for the purposes of not creating disturbances, I will leave it at that for this point, okay?
Katrina, I'd just like to make it a point that the auditors assisted in their legal capacity only. They had no input, no anything else.
He just helped you put the numbers.
He, right, just his legal capacity.
He doesn't make calls. He just starts working.
Yeah, just so there's no confusion, because I think Councilwoman Schneider also stated that he did the budget, which I wanted to make sure that he had nothing to do with it.
Additionally, we need to, we received a notice from the state of New Jersey saying we need to introduce the budget by June 30th. So otherwise, we're going to be subject to funds. As far as who did what and who didn't do what, that can be, well, sorted out and reviewed in emails and things like that. But I think is our duty on, as this council and mayor of this town, our duty is to get this budget done. No one likes doing a budget, but that's part of the job. You know, I think that the hard work was done here by our CFO and by our auditor coming in and working very hard in many days. So I do appreciate all your work. And, you know, it hasn't been easy because many things had to be sorted out beforehand. So again, just, you know, we can't play games. We need to introduce this. This is June 27th. You know, amazingly, half the year is done. So we need to introduce and we need to move forward. And as was just stated, public comment then will be our August meeting.
Would you care to make a motion?
Motion to introduce the budget. Well, are we finished with discussions? I mean, I don't want to rush anything.
I think that myself and everybody else, including.
Again, it's not a hearing tonight.
Right.
Just-
Okay.
Capacity, just introduction, we still have.
Introduction by title.
Yeah.
Right, so if for some reason there was something we had to change, we could do that still.
Yes.
But again, in order to, I mean, just to remind everyone, this budget came in May at what was it, 4.3 cents? Is that where we were at? We were at something higher.
Yeah, we were higher. We were,
We were higher.
Mhm.
So we did get it down to 3 cents,
Well, I thought it was 4.6.
4.6.
That
So
sounds
we
more
made some
familiar.
progress with your discussions and you know, with your work. And again, as was already stated, in order to get it down another penny, we would have to find $86,000 to shake off. So you can find 100 here, and you could find 1,000 there, but it's pretty hard to find 86,000 to reduce it by another penny. So,
Yeah, you've tried.
you know, I think, you know, it's reasonable. And we're combining things of reducing our reliance on the sewer budget. We're using some of it, which, you know, I think is necessary. We can't go at a full Turkey. So, and I think we've done the best that we can with the budget, with what we have.
I would just like to make a note that the Environmental Commission was apparently debudgeted. It used to have a small budget, and that was taken away. And one of the people who's running for your town council is the chair of that. And I would hope that the reason that this was done, and I don't know why or how it was done, is not political, and it's not just to try to make her look bad.
2 years ago, they spent less than $200. Last year, they spent $250. We put 500, which is double, more than double what they spent each of the first 2 years. This year, they've proposed a seminar on macroinvertebrates, a plan to have school kids raise trout, and a rain barrel seminar. And if you go back to our ordinance, none of those things are within the responsibilities of the Environmental Commission. On the other hand, they're supposed to address open space issues with the planning board, which they have not done. So, considering the taxpayers, in lieu of studying worms or putting on a presentation about worms, we essentially doubled last year's budget to $500, and that's why it was done.
I just say that I'm very pleased with this budget. You know, and, the exception of getting off the sewer would have been a penny, a little over a penny. So I'm very pleased with that. I think most of the citizens understand that, you know, just to keep the lights on, pay the bills, things go up here and there. And you guys did a great job bringing down that level.
I do appreciate the help from the staff. From our order. I know we had a lot of catching up to do. And got down to crunch time and it got done. Thank you.
Shall we introduce? Alrighty, then I'll make a motion that we introduce this budget tonight. So we meet our deadlines, introduce our budget.
I'll second that. Is that proper form, Katrina?
Yes.
So we need a vote.
Roll call?
Councilman Belcarro?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe?
Yes.
Councilwoman Whitmire?
I'm gonna ask you again, but yes, since this is a public document, so you haven't seen it before tonight, I'm assuming. Right. Be okay if you. Okay, I'll explain.
Council President Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor McKay?
Given Mr. Pryor's election to make a statement that I did not put forth a budget or try to put one forth, I have to vote no.
Did you present a budget to council?
I proceeded along the same way that I did it last year. I couldn't produce a budget until I got the budget off the system. I didn't get the budget off the system until like a couple of days before the last budget meeting, so
You have
Can do
an
it.
office right across from CFO.
I don't want to discuss that here. Okay.
But we all received the budget at the same time.
No, we didn't, because Mr. Pryor had made edits and additions and reductions to the budget prior to it being mailed, sent out to the rest of us.
But that's your two.
I
No?
I took advantage of coming in and
Wasn't made available to
Looking
other
at the
people.
works in progress.
Mhm.
You sat across the hall from the
I
CFO.
said I don't want to do this here.
Did somebody build a wall?
I recall Janice saying that she had meetings scheduled with you to review the budget in May.
And I showed up. And
I think you didn't.
I have
That was one of our
emails
discussions.
stating otherwise, and Mayor, I really don't appreciate the comment stating that you were not afforded the same opportunities, because as you were, we've had plenty of discussions in front of plenty of employees, myself asking you.
I have said I don't want to discuss this
Then
here. I
please don't
keep getting
discuss it
pushed into,
further.
I don't want to discuss this
You-
here. This
I
is
asked
inappropriate.
everybody, Please after the
Inappropriate.
emails, Bill.
But if that's your reason for voting no,
That's
Mr.
enlightening.
Mayor, you have to give a better reason than that.
No,
That's not about.
I don't, I don't understand a lot of the things that went on, so I'm just going to,
You were made abreast very well of everything explained in very deep detail. And I was waiting for you, and I explained the charter and numerous other duties that you need, so I would suggest that we could leave it here without further excuses from yourself.
All right, the vote's been taken. I suggest we move on.
resolution to approve and/or refund tax payments for 2016 for exempt property known as Block 2, Lot 16. And then 4 is for an additional property known as Block 88, Lot 1.
I discussed this briefly at the last meeting that we had, so the June meeting. You have received from 2 different people, and your tax collector expects to receive more. So she's looking for some guidance as to the date you want to provide these individual refunds. They are 100% exempt disabled veterans, which means they do not have to pay property taxes. So the statute allows you to give it to them as of the date of their disability, or pretty much anywhere along the line to when they actually file. Just so you understand the process, these veterans write to the VA, and the VA writes them back and says, yes, you are 100% disabled, and here's your effective date. So you could go all the way back to the effective date, which could be a year or 2, which is a lot of taxes. You could go to the date that they made the effort to go to the VA and get their VA letter. You could go to somewhere in between. In one case, the tax assessor had some dealings with one of the people. Or you could go to when they actually make their application, which will be kind of the least amount of refund. So what I have given to you is a breakdown for these 2 gentlemen. And I gave you kind of what you would have to refund by way of if you pick the date of disability, and what if you pick the date of the VA letter. And the one gentleman owns with someone else jointly, not his wife, someone else, and so it's only 50%. But those are the numbers. That's the 50%. So that's what you would be refunding. I want you to see that, but I also wanted to mention to you that you make a policy going forward. So this way your tax collector knows, and so next time the resolution will come and it'll just have the number on it. And you won't have to kind of go through this every time, and it would be fair to everyone to know that this is the policy and this is what the township does.
Katrina, do you have any feel for prevailing practice? I know they give us these options, but
I think a lot of towns like the date of the VA letter only because that's kind of a trigger date that they've gotten something, and like I said, sometimes it could be several years back, and that's hard on your budget for things like that. Yeah, and so this is kind of the date that you get. Now you may not get their application for a while; they may still have their VA letter, but at least it was kind of a trigger date that's when the VA sent them a letter. I asked Rachel if she could remember how we've ever done it. She said she thought maybe once she did it the date of disability, but she wasn't certain, and there was no policy set. So I think now is the time to pick something. But so I gave you the numbers just so you can kind of understand the ramifications and make your decision with as much information as possible.
I'm really kind of torn here. I want to be fair to the veterans, and I think having the letter, that's a document that has a fixed date. You can work on the other hand, I saw one of the letters and it had an effective date in it, which somebody made a determination that that's when it occurred. So I'm kind of looking at what does everybody else do? If 90% of the state is in a certain direction, I feel comfortable with that. But,
Is there guidance?
Well, the statute just says you may. It says
think that's what it says.
It just says that the town may,
Does League of Municipalities have any guidance?
no, they let the town,
I mean, if someone doesn't come to us for a long time, we should be leaving ourselves open.
well, and that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna
budget,
say.
you can't.
Can we put some kind of
Can we put some kind
caveat,
of cap on,
like the date of the letter,
or 2
up
years,
to
yeah,
a year or two
whichever is,
beyond.
yeah, whichever is,
Because if somebody gets their letter in
No.
2016 and doesn't file until 2020.
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
An
that-
arbitrary.
Now, it says May, and it doesn't say you have to set one policy and it always has to be the same. So you can set a policy, and let's say there's something really like outrageous, if someone sat on their letter for 20 years, and then,
Right.
you know, you could say, well,
Case by case, maybe.
you know, but I would maybe set a kind of a general.
My feeling, if we had to make a decision tonight, I would lean towards the date of the letter. But I'd like to find out more how the effective date is determined and what
well, what
the
I-
towns are doing, and maybe we could adjust these two fellows if we,
Well, and maybe what we can do is we can ask your tax collector to make a phone call to a couple other tax
Yeah.
collectors, and she is the tax collector in at least 2 other towns, and just see if, she may not, like I said, Lopatcong hasn't had one of these in almost as far back as she can remember. She can remember 1 or 2. But she feels that your population is kind of getting to the point where she's starting to get a little bit more coming in. So she's, but this way we can put it on for next week. It's only next week. I just wanted, I was recommending that you make a decision before your 3rd quarter tax bill, just
Yeah.
to try to, and at least one of these gentlemen is delinquent, because they're hoping that this will come.
I don't know if
So-
this works. I mean, I'd like to adopt the policy, the date of the letter, but if research determines that it really should be the effective date, I'd like to adjust these two fellows.
Yeah, I mean, like I
Does
said,
that
you're just
make
setting a,
sense?
yeah, you're just setting a policy, so you can, you know, we'll ask around in the county, and, you know, if the majority.
We're out of
do it-
line with the rest of the
Right,
state, then
absolutely.
we can adjust these fellows. So-
Yeah, and so what we'll do is, we'll have you do the actual resolution next week.
Yeah.
Because this way we have the policy, and this way she can put the number right into the resolution, and they'll do it next week. And because your tax bills are estimated tax bills anyway, you know, it'll be okay.
And then I know I think our website, the tax collector does state that there's the ability to apply for senior citizen discounts and veteran discounts. So maybe this is something, I mean, because you don't want, you know, people coming in like, and there's like,
Yeah,
This is
I know we
very-
just did the sewer discounts.
Right.
And if you need VA documentation, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very specific category, and this is 100%
Yeah.
disabled veteran. This is not, thankfully, not a lot of people meet
right.
this category. And so,
So we're going to go with the date of the VA letter. Is that right for now?
yeah, we'll.
And adjust
we'll
later.
Put those numbers into the resolutions unless Rachel finds out.
Okay. Okay. All right, number 5, approve change order for Phillipsburg roadway improvement project. Who has that letter?
I
Or
have
have
3 change orders here for you. Just sign right next to the dash, mine.
Improvement project. And these are the ones that we discussed last.
Yes.
Yes, so-
yes. And you, yes. There's the new form.
Oh, must be here. Oh, here.
Oh, we have to
Any other motions?
have a resolution, right? I'll make a motion to approve the change order.
Yeah, the change order
What was
is
the amount on there?
22,462.79. 22,462.79.
I
Okay,
believe the county is picking up a portion of that because some of that work is for catch basin repairs that they would have had to fix anyway when we looked at them.
Mhm.
So I think about $10,000 the county is picking up. But you have to do it as part of a change order because you're the lead agency.
right. That would be this 9,000 and this 1,200? No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're the lead agency, Lopatcong is the agency for the school and the county, but, and the school district. So we have to, if we change order with the contractor, we have to actually pay the contractor the money from everywhere else and pay them. So we have to.
So we'd have to do the vote on that. right? We had a motion?
Yes, we have a motion, we need a second.
Second? Right.
You said second.
No, that was a question. Second? Okay.
Roll call back, Councilman Belcarro, Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer.
That can explain it enough for you. And it's been discussed in public meetings.
That's what I figured.
Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Yes. All right, resolution approving request for exemption to the direct deposit mandate.
We have 2 more people request to be exempt. So we have another payroll next week, so spending that, I just put it on for this evening.
Is there a document here that shows, I didn't,
Yeah,
Just
there
an
is.
employee number.
an employee number? How many employees, 2?
There is, 3. There's 3.
How many total?
Oh, maybe 9, 10.
I was gonna say 7, maybe. Not many, just.
I don't think we reached 10 yet.
10?
I think you had
How many
5,
employees do we
but
have?
the last one was 6, and then 3.
9.
I mean, out of the employees, we even have seasonal wanting to do it, so I think it was a good showing done, right? I'd say so.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve that.
Sorry, motion.
I'll second that motion.
I guess roll call, because it's money.
Yes, Councilman Belcarro.
Yeah.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer. Yes. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Yes, resolution authorizing an increase in the amount of funds for the defense of litigation. McKay versus the Township of Lopatcong governing body, up to $5,000 for the law firm of Joe Bell, Chivas, and Fasolo? Is that it? Fasolo? Yeah, this is, it's hard to describe, but,
I don't recommend.
yeah, I probably shouldn't describe it. I don't even know why this is an open session, but,
Well, it's easy. We're authorizing services. We authorized the contracts last time.
no.
It was up to a certain amount, and so
Yes.
because they're getting close to exceeding that amount, they had to add more.
Oh, okay. So that, and then, so that's money, so roll call, please. Well, we need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer.
It's up to you, if you don't feel comfortable.
I'm gonna abstain. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
I will abstain. Number 8, resolution authorizing an increase to the amount of funds necessary for the defense of litigation McKay versus the township clerk, up to $5,000 to the law firm of D. Francisco, Bateman, Kunzman, Davis, Lear, and Flom. Motion?
I'll make that motion.
Unfortunately, we'll keep spending that money, but
You could have acquiesced to the,
you could not buy.
because, well, we're not supposed to talk about it. And you shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah, we should.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so roll call.
Councilman Belcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer. And then abstain again. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McKay.
Abstain. Now, quick question, since certain people are beneficiaries to this that are on the council,
They do
shouldn't they
not have a
abstain?
conflict. No,
You don't
we
think they
discussed
do?
already.
Okay,
No, it's just like when the town gets sued, you were allowed to vote to defend yourself. These are.
all right, just as long as it's on record, that's what I want. Okay, let's see, now, the next item would be the payment of bills, but I don't have a bill list.
Yes, we do have a bills list. I gave it to you separately.
You got it off the copy machine.
So this is the bill list that Beth is providing?
Not me.
Yes, you are, that's your job, your job?
It's my job in the ordinance.
No, it
I'm
says it's-
providing it.
We changed
Oh, we did?
the ordinance.
Oh, that's right, we did. Okay, so now it's changed. All right, this is the CFO's bill list. It aggregates on $50,642.33. Motion to approve the bill list.
Motion.
This was the same bill list as last time that we didn't get approved because we didn't have a quorum.
181, 498, that's
So it's.
Lou is right, there was a second page, it just says total bills,
Right. If you look up
181,000.
if you look at the funds and anything that's approved from, there's current funds, developers trust and trust, it's 156,90,83. The other in the back includes previously paid checks that were approved but not checked off onto the system at the time that they were approved. Like we might have issued checks, again, reissued checks due to the fact that they might have been altered, changed, different, so we add them onto the bill list again, even though they're previously approved. Yeah, it's just a small one, just to get some of these out of the way that were important.
I have two questions. We have a motion, but no second.
I think so.
Lou seconded it.
All right, discussion. I'm gonna have to recuse myself from the JMT bill. And then Beth, we got a bill from a magician at the middle school or something. He's not on here.
That's coming to the July meeting.
Okay.
Okay, roll call?
Yes. Councilman Valcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer. Yes. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor Michelle.
Yes. Next item is audience participation. So a motion to open the floor to audience participation. Motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, audience participation.
Come on down.
Just a few announcements. Actually, one of the announcements was supposed to be at the last meeting to say we were going to have a dog park meeting today, but that got canceled because of this meeting, but it rained anyways. Going along with that, Lori Tesla, 12 Meadowview Drive, sorry. We had originally scoped out one area of the park to kind of do a design of where the dog park would be. And speaking with Paul, there's a couple areas on the back side of the park that would also be really good for a dog park, and they're kind of away from everything as well. And I wasn't sure, I haven't had a chance to talk to Paul to see like what the cost would be or if there is any, but I kind of wanted to talk to him about which area he thought was best back there, because there is a lot of interest in the township, and something like this can basically be done with, on donations and grants all alone. So I was wondering if you guys could authorize me to be able to talk to Paul to see what areas he was thinking about back there. Because we took a walk around the park at our last meeting and we did see some good spots.
Quick question. I guess at some point there'll be a proposal. and have to
Yeah,
send it to
yeah,
council.
mhm, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How big is it?
We'll just make a motion. Recommend you make a motion.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to authorize Lori to speak with our professional, Paul Sturbins, regarding the dog park issue. And I'll need a second. Why, thank you.
Roll call?
Councilman Valcarro.
Yes.
Councilwoman McCabe.
Yes.
Councilwoman Redmeyer. Yes. Council President Pryor.
Yes.
Mayor McCabe.
Yes.
Thank you. Also, I know I had talked to Katrina, and we've been going over this for a couple of years now on the Smith Road status. I don't know if there was anything else that we had to do.
See, I have to check my notes.
I don't know if it was with you or with Paul. Okay.
I think council wanted me to reach out to the church.
Yes.
They would grant you an easement
Mhm.
on church road.
Yeah.
That is where we are. I have done that.
Okay.
We'll put it back on my.
All right, thanks. I wasn't sure if it was with you or Paul. I know we were trying to figure that
I
out.
think that
Also, I think in the budget, I was told I have $350 for music in the park.
I didn't realize it was broken out.
Or is it just like a lump?
No, I thought, to be honest with you, I thought we had 10 grand all.
Oh, okay. I could talk to you about that after. Okay, all right.
Because you could use the 10,000 as we stated,
Right,
we
just
discussed. It's
ready.
just that the previous CFO had broken down things into
Oh,
very
okay.
tiny minutiae, so when it comes up in a line item, you have to kind of stick certain things in
Oh,
different
okay,
places.
all right.
But the state of New Jersey cares about other expenses and salary and wages per department they don't care what we do in between.
Oh, okay,
So as
all
long
right.
as we're authorized and that's what the discussions were, we're all fine.
Okay, because they had music in the park this last Wednesday. The veterans paid for that. I believe the veterans are paying for 2 others. They're also going to help split the cost for entertainment at Community Day, but I'll come back to you when we get that settled.
I do have one more question here. I guess they've been working with the rec.
Yes.
To coordinate these
Yeah.
events.
Mhm.
So on.
Yeah, so they had their first one
And you
last
coordinate?
Wednesday, and then I'm coordinating for the others. So this week, and I'll work it out with Janice for the payment. It's this week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. We have Mark and Mary Hanning. They're doing like classic contemporary music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They're going to have a sound system, but they both primarily play guitar. So if everybody would like to come out and see that, he's actually he's a very good guitarist and singer. And his daughter is studying jazz guitar at college, so she's very good as well. We also have the jazz combo that's going to be here. I'll send you all the dates. 2+1. The math band is playing, thankfully for free. And we're trying to, the veterans lost the band, so we're trying to find another one. If anybody has anyone who's interested, just let us know, because we can also have like an amateur night too. That's fine as well. Yeah, exactly. Something like that to get people out. Again, free.
Just something that you may be interested in, the first concert here, somehow the HOA over at Delaware Crossing got a hold of it.
Okay.
They sent a blast email
All right.
to 158 people. So I don't know if you have a contact at.
I think I do. Yeah, I can send that out.
These things
Mhm.
get,
Oh, sure.
advertised a little better.
And one school or Johnson.
Oh, yeah, in the newsletter. Okay.
It was a very nice event.
It was, yeah, it was very nice. Very nice up there. It's great. You can sit, you can bring your blankets, bring some food. It's really nice for everyone to come. Yeah, they did.
It's a nice event.
Yeah.
In the summer, a nice evening.
Mhm.
A lot of people came out with their chairs. Bring up your lawn chair.
Just sit and relax.
You can have a picnic. It's a nice addition to this town, and I think it's a worthwhile.
Oh, yeah, and I'm glad the veterans have pushed us into it. Also, they're on Wednesdays because on July 6th, we start movies at the pool. So you can basically go up there, you can listen to some music, and it's timed so that it'll end when the movie starts. So, yeah, so this way you can kind of make it a day, or there's a lot going on. The only other thing I had was the website. If you guys could take a look at it and see what your duties are, and I don't know if you need to decide those too with Councilwoman Rittermeyer, but if you could just check, because we're not really sure if it's right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to revisit it, and just wrapping it in.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And also, we can advertise I guess we are, the music on the website.
Yeah.
Yes, I just have a question. With the conversation about sewage situation, I would hope there's some type of reflection in the high-density housing, building structures also, with any kind of reduction in sewer bills or anything of that nature, or how it's billed or what it has. I'm just making the statement. It's not going to vary much, but each individual 408 apartments in the complex have individuals going through sewer systems, which goes in these major.
It's all billed by consumption.
Okay, consumption-based billing.
So I don't know if your apartments are individually metered.
Oh, no, I'm not discussing
The landlord
that.
gets a bill,
Mhm.
and how he breaks that up is up to him.
No, I wasn't discussing that, Joe. I was discussing the usage of the flows of the sewer, that it would be reflected also in the landlord's billing structure. You understand? Not individual meters within each
No,
individual.
but I'm saying he gets billed the same way a homeowner does.
Oh, okay. That was my question.
So much
Flow.
1,000 gallons.
Okay.
50,000 gallons.
Right.
Everybody gets that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The residential
Good.
rate.
And then another question, which doesn't have anything to do
He
with.
does. Your landlord, once upon a time,
Yes.
he got a commercial rate, which was higher,
Yes, okay.
and that was questioned. There was a settlement, and the multifamily units
Okay.
all pay the same rate that the single family does.
Okay,
It's a
very
single
good.
residential rate.
Very good. That's good. The other thing is, I know that the water company is probably private, having nothing to do with the town.
we can't help.
Nothing to do with the town, but that would be the water company. Okay. All right, thanks, Joe, for answering my question very much.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no additional questions, motion to come out of audience participation.
Motion.
All in favor? Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
All in favor? It's adjourned.